What's going on, guys? It's Mike for SimRacing 604 and welcome back to Assetto Corsa. And introducing for the first time, this is the Formula RSS 1990 V12 from Race Sim Studio, which looks to be styled after the Ferrari 641 from the 1990 Formula 1 season. This one is from Race Sim Studio. It's the newest paid mod for Assetto Corsa. €4 gets you into this car. Some of you may have seen my video last week where I talked about the things I could not live without in Assetto Corsa, and anything by Race Sim Studio was included in that can't live without list. So great to have another car from Race Sim Studio, especially the open wheelers. Race Sim Studio really seems to have found their sort of niche in sim racing by creating the best formula cars, possibly in all of sim racing, but definitely for Assetto Corsa. We have other editions of this car in the sim racing world. In my opinion, this one is the best. I've spent about an hour with it so far, and it is just a fantastic drive. As you can well imagine, the sounds are great as well, and just looking at it here, you can see the visual detailing, as we've come to expect from Race Sim Studio, is nothing less than outstanding. If you look carefully at this car, you may see a familiar name, my friend Ferrari Man 601, one of my favorite sim tubers for years and still is, and he's got his name on this one, so great to have his input. He's extremely knowledgeable about Formula 1 and a big Assetto Corsa fan, so deservingly he has been included in the creation of this mod on some level. Hopefully I'll get to talk to him about that at some point in the future. But another beautiful car from Race Sim Studio. This one, no different from anything else RSS has produced. Really just a great mod, great addition if you're a fan of this era of Formula 1, as most of us F1 fans are. Then I would put this in the must-have list. Possibly the best creation of early 90s Formula 1 cars we have in sim racing. So absolutely beautiful. Let's quickly do a fly-in to the cockpit here, and you can have a look at the interior detailing. And then what I'm going to do is jump out on the track and take this around Suzuka for a few laps and just share my thoughts on the driving experience. And then we will wrap up by looking at a full volume replay, and you can hear that V12 engine just screaming. So again, this is the Formula RSS 1990 V12 from Race Sim Studio for Assetto Corsa. Enjoy these laps, guys, and we'll talk to you next time. Okay guys, so here we are about to start our laps in the RSS Formula V12. You can see those cool rev lights in front of me there. Lots of tremendous onboard detail. We're here, of course, at Suzuka. And the first thing you notice about this car, really, is that it's comparatively easy to drive next to something like the Formula V10. That was my only complaint about the Formula V10. I think it's a beautiful car in just about every single way, but it's such a handful that you find yourself sort of slipping out of enjoyment because it's so hard to get around the track. Not so with this Formula V12, seems a lot more tame. In fact, the hardest part about driving this V12 so far that I've discovered is the braking, because it can go from not braking hard enough and then you apply a little bit more brake pressure and then you lock up. It's not a critique of the car. Whoops. Just kind of how it goes with this Formula V12. A little bit early on the brakes there, that's okay. Around the hairpin. Beautiful acceleration sounds out of that V12. And we'll see if we can take 130R flat out. Should be no problem. Most open wheelers don't have an issue with it. 7th gear here, which is the top gear. Easily around 130R. So my review of the Formula RSS V12, having only done probably about an hour's worth of driving, so perhaps a little premature. Overall, extremely nice car. I would expect nothing less from Race Sim Studio. They seem to have really sort of found their groove in the sim racing world. In my mind, nobody makes better mods than RSS, and this certainly continues that. I don't really have any significant critiques. Well, I'll say I don't have any critiques of the car specifically. One thing I would like to see from Race Sim Studio is a follow-up to the RSS Bayro that we had last year, I believe it was. It's a GT3 car. Brilliant. But unfortunately, there was no follow-up. I was hoping there would be more GT3 cars. In my mind, it doesn't get much better in the sim racing world than the GT1 pack we got from Race Sim Studio, and that was a pack of 3, and then eventually a full field of 6 cars. Whoops. And I would love to see them do the same with the GT3 cars. They've teased the Lambo, I'm guessing the 2019 Huracan Evo, but we've yet to see that. I'd love to see that. Their GT3 car was among the best you can get for Assetto Corsa. But again, it's kind of getting lonely. But with that said, like I said earlier, I don't really have any specific critiques of this car. I think it's fantastic. And as I say, I like the fact that it's so much easier to drive than that V10. A guy of my driving skill, that V10 is certainly a handful. This V12 a little bit more forgiving. You can't fault Race Sim Studio at any point. Any mod they've ever created for the onboard detailing being any less than stellar, and this certainly continues that legacy, as well as the fantastic sounds. Yeah, I really love how this drives. Obviously, I've got a lot of work to do in terms of pushing it and finding speed, but just the initial, is it fun to throw around the track? 100% yes. Again, just can't seem to keep it on the track or on that last corner. Previous corner, I should say. Alright, so we'll do one more lap here. See if I can find a little bit more speed. Then we'll get into the full volume replay, which I guarantee you will be fantastic. This thing is brilliant. Lovely acceleration. It's remarkable how easy it is to put the power down here. Let's see if we can get it around. That was better. Far from perfect, but better. Alright, so just a couple more corners to go here, then we will wrap this up. Clip at the apex at 130R. So another strong recommendation from me here. Really, really nice car. and that'll do it. Alright guys, enjoy these replays. I guarantee you they're going to sound fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. Well done to Race Sim Studio on the creation of this brilliant mod car. Links are in the description to buy it and add it to Assetto Corsa. Thanks guys for watching, and we will see you next time.